This is the second part of the discussion about April 17th
Yes.
at Huseba. This is OAF 2. The interview is being conducted now. Is Tuesday, November the 6th, 2007. The interviewer's name is Douglas Alpaska and, of course, Sergeant Mejia. And we are going to continue on with the first half of the tape. I think, sir, we were at the last time we were discussing that the recon Marines were up on the roof and they just threw a canister of what the Iraqis call benzene, but is really gasoline, into the first floor of the building where the insurgents were.
Yes. Well, when recon guys did that, they let it fume up a little bit. And from there, they got off the rooftop, went around the school compound, and linked up with, or was in between our overwatch position and the actual house where the insurgents were. Before they linked up there was an insurgent that's trying to get out after when the fumes started fuming up inside with the gasoline and the smoke. Well, there's an insurgent come out with Mandras and Distasha that had just around his collar, and he had obviously tennis shoes like we've seen prior insurgencies wear, and
They were brand new.
they were brand new shoes, and well, we seen him come out with a Beretta like he was gonna shoot somebody. And obviously he was an insurgent, so we, the Overwatch, opened fire and killed this insurgent. The insurgent didn't make it outside the front door of the compound.
Oh, so he wasn't even running outside the compound. He
was trying to run out, but we stopped him by bullets before he got out of the compound.
So he basically, his body was just thrown back into the house?
Yes.
Okay.
And well, from there, the other side, they killed another insurgent trying to get out. Well, we let it sit there for 5 to 10 minutes. You know, just making sure that nobody else comes out. And from there, the recon team, in between the insurgent house and the Overwatch where we were at, stacked up on the wall. And from there...
How many were going in? Was it just a team of 4?
No, this is a stack of 10.
Oh, okay. So it was
so
okay.
They stacked up on the wall on the outside, and then from there they started going inside.
Were they wearing gas masks, or since
No.
there was because the fumes weren't that bad?
They weren't that bad at the time no more. It was that cool down, and all we heard was gunshots going off inside. Next thing you know, we, myself and Corporal Milinkovic go downstairs because those guys that got killed and we're looking at were mine and Corporal Milinkovic's friends.
Was that Minikovic? Was his name Corporal Minikovic?
Milinkovic.
Okay.
And well, Lieutenant Carroll at the time came down from the rooftop. And
this Lieutenant Carroll was actually on the roof of the insurgent's house. So.
Yes.
Okay, so he just came down to the ground floor.
Yes, and then well, the recon guys started coming down or coming out of the house compound, and they were carrying a Marine, and we were looking at him like he didn't even go to the spot where we can see the Marines that were killed. The 3 guys that were in the courtyard. So the Marine or the recon guy passed me, and I looked at the Marine that he was carrying his name tape, and it said Gannon. And I looked back at Corporal Milinkovic, and I'm like, that's our CO. So it pissed me off to see that. Lieutenant Carroll was heated for us not to help him out, but in the same sense, he looks at me and Milinkovic and it's like, "You're the only two guys that can help us carry my boys into my." We had a high back right there in the corner. So Lieutenant Carl looked at us like, "You're the only two guys that can help me out carry my boys into this high back."
Oh, he was telling you he was only going to allow the two of you to carry
Yes.
the Marines? Okay. It wasn't that y'all were the only two available. He didn't want any other... he didn't want the recon Marines to carry him. He wanted it to be Lima Marines?
Lima weapons platoon guys.
Okay.
And myself and Kobe and Kovic were the only two guys that were able to carry him out of the compound.
Okay.
Well, we loaded all three of them, and the recon guy loaded Captain Gannon at the time. And from there, 3rd platoon. This is after we loaded our friends into the high back. Well, weapons platoon was tasked to go back to the compound to Camp Usaba, our firm base. Well, 3rd platoon was continue pressing directly north of the school compound, and there was a police station up there.
But this wasn't the same police compound you had been to earlier?
No, this is more eastern in the city. So we pushed into this compound, into the police station compound.
Was there still gunfiring going on all around the city at this time, or they kind of quieted down?
At this time, there's just faintly gunfire going around.
Okay. I was going to ask you too, when y'all were at trying to flush out the insurgents from the house, what time period was that?
Well, we're there for close to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, something like that. This is roughly about 11 to 3 in the afternoon.
Okay. So y'all were there for about 4 hours then.
Yes, I can't remember the time frame, but we're there for a while.
Oh, you're saying within that within 11 to that? Okay, I understand. And then in that time period, it was about 2 hours. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Well, 3rd platoon moved on to this police station compound, and Lieutenant Watson's like, "Look, boys, get in the cars, get all the cars out," and we started looking for the keys. Well,
the police cars, trying to get the police. Okay.
And battalion was calling for us, and we're a ways away from. They're calling for us at East End. That's the eastern part of the city compound, or the city. Well, Lieutenant Watson's like, "Hey, they want us over there pretty quickly, so get all these cars, get the keys for all these cars, and get in them, and we're gonna drive back to the East End."
How many cars were there?
It was a convoy of probably like 10 cars or more. I don't know.
It just sounds kind of funny in the middle of this big firefight yard driving these 10 police cars. Were these Iraqi manufacturer, or were these just American cars that we
These were, I don't even recall.
They're pretty beat up, huh? They're not like the ones we see now.
No, they weren't that beat up. They were pretty nice.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so.
I guess there were some that we donated or gave to the Iraqis.
That, or there was just brand new vehicles that they bought.
Okay.
So we drive down to East End, and we park the cars in the middle of the road as a battalion is online on East End, and we got the word that we're gonna push down from east to west. So once we dismounted from the vehicles, from the police vehicles, we go to the corner where the insurgents were killed by the snipers, or not the snipers, but the recon guys earlier. So we get I call up for EOD, so they could get those grenades out of there. Well, EOD comes and gets those grenades and blows them in place.
Oh, they just grab them and throw them, or
they grab them and then they put them in some hole that was already made.
Okay.